Well, now to President Biden's decision to end his bid for re-election less than 4 months before voters head to the polls.
Yeah, all eyes are now on Vice President Kamala Harris. Biden endorsed her as the Democratic nominee yesterday afternoon, but he can't alone make her the candidate. Harris made her first public appearance today, and right now she just landed in Wilmington, Delaware, to stop by her campaign headquarters.
Shortly after Biden dropped out, the Harris campaign raised nearly $50 million in grassroots donations. And now we're getting a look at the first ad supporting Harris. It blames Trump over the fall of Roe versus Wade and abortion rights.
Democrats now have a big challenge ahead of them, given the traditional primary season has long ended. In exactly 1 month from today, the Democratic nominee will give an acceptance speech at the convention.
Roughly 4,700 delegates will choose the new nominee either in a virtual roll call or at the convention in Chicago. The Democratic committee that will determine the rules for the party's nomination will meet on Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, many Democrats threw their support behind Harris today, including Governor Hochul, Governor Murphy, and New York City Mayor Adams. They're now setting up a push that could make Harris the first black woman and the first Asian American to lead the ticket of a major political party.
We have live team coverage this afternoon, but we begin with Eyewitness News reporter Darla Miles.
David, Joe Biden dropping out of the race and throwing his support behind Kamala Harris seems to be the infusion of energy the Democratic Party has been waiting for. Talks of any challenges against her are quieting down, and congressional leaders are meeting with Vice President Harris as we speak. Now, this morning, she stepped in for President Biden, who is recovering from COVID, for a non-campaign event on the White House lawn, as she's also stepping in for him in the presidential race.
The Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris.
Vice President Kamala Harris taking the reins of the Democratic Party Monday. As the presumptive Democratic nominee, Harris is now the voice of the party after President Biden dropped his bid for the White House Sunday.
I am firsthand witness that every day our President Joe Biden fights for the American people, and we are deeply, deeply grateful for his service to our nation.
The engine moving swiftly to reset the campaign today. Harris posting on social media, 1 day down, 105 to go. A new campaign logo has been unveiled. Harris for president with only one name. And Harris building out her own campaign infrastructure with dozens of open positions on the campaign website. Some party leaders have been slow to throw their weight behind the vice president, but former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi did so today. Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries meeting with the vice president this afternoon, but stopping short of any official endorsement beforehand.
Kamala Harris has excited the community. She's excited the House Democratic Caucus, and she's exciting the country.
That excitement made very clear by a windfall of donations. The Harris campaign raising more than $50 million overnight. This after big money donations dried up amid calls for President Biden to exit the race.
He's very well known to the public already. You have the funding in place, and I think you have to do the best process you can with the time you have.
Harris has not yet sealed the nomination. There had been some speculation about possible challenges from the floor of the Democratic National Convention next month. But the appetite for that seems to have waned, with the party coalescing around Harris Monday. Republicans slamming Democrats for pressuring Biden to leave the race, calling the party hypocrites for disregarding the will of primary and caucus voters. GOP vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance on the offensive.
That is not how it works. That is a threat to democracy, not the Republican Party, which is fighting for democracy every single day.
Now, also on the Republican side, a very interesting tweet from former Vice President Mike Pence. He congratulated Biden for stepping aside and called for unity between both parties to work together. Again, congressional leaders are meeting as we speak, our own local leaders. Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, they're meeting before any official endorsement of Vice President Harris, but it is expected to happen sometime this evening.